Are you ready to get white and nerdy with me here at Centurion Investing? I'm about to go on a little dive about the prophet, Michael Saylor, and his Bitcoin philosophy for MSTR. And then I'm going to compare it to BTCI. Let's enter into the matrix that is Bitcoin. In the heat of battle, I say naughty things. You have been warned. Are you not entertained? The birth of Bitcoin. In 2008, while the world's banks were imploding like a poorly made souffle, an anonymous figure named Satoshi Nakamoto dropped a mysterious white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Essentially, it was digital money that didn't need banks, governments, or awkward small talk with your accountant. In January 2009, the Bitcoin network launched. The first ever block, called the Genesis block, was mined. And just like that, Bitcoin was born, valued at absolutely $0 and a whole lot of ambition. Cut to 2010, and a Florida man, of course, spent 10,000 BTC on 2 pizzas, forever making May 22nd Bitcoin Pizza Day and locking in the world's most expensive carbs. Bitcoin grows up, sort of. Bitcoin gained traction among cyberpunks, libertarians, and people who really didn't like centralized authority. It went from being worth fractions of a penny to $1, then $10, then $100, then $1,000. And then, like a crypto Cinderella at midnight, it crashed hard. Still, true believers hodled. And if you don't know what hodling is, that's holding on for dear life. Posting memes, trading on shady Blackwater exchanges, and confusing their parents. Enter Michael Saylor, also known as the corporate Bitcoin apostle. Michael Saylor, CEO of Microstrategy, or as it's known now, just Strategy, a publicly traded business software company most people had never heard of. Pre-2020, Saylor was not even a crypto guy. In fact, in 2013, he tweeted, "Bitcoin's days are numbered." Well, you know what Guess Aid is like milk? Fast forward to 2020, the world's printing money like it's toilet paper in a pandemic because it was a pandemic. And Saylor has a light bulb moment. What if we move our corporate cash into Bitcoin? Well, he convinced his board to take $425 million of Microstrategy's treasury and buy Bitcoin. Everyone thought he was nuts. Wall Street. You're putting your cash reserve into an internet coin invented by someone who might be a ghost? Saylor. Yep, and I'll be buying more. And he did. Billions more. Saylor becomes a meme. With his new crypto conviction, Saylor transformed from CEO to Bitcoin evangelist. He dropped phrases like, Bitcoin is digital energy. Gold is dead. I'm not selling. He wore laser eyes on Twitter. He went on hundreds of podcasts. He was everywhere. Elon Musk even called him to ask if Tesla should buy Bitcoin. Spoiler, they did, and then they sold. Meanwhile, MicroStrategy kept buying more BTC whenever the price dipped. Some analysts called him reckless, others called him a visionary. Reddit just called him Daddy Saylor. From 2020 to 2022, Bitcoin soared to 69,000. Then crashed below 20,000. Saylor, still buying. It's down 70%. Cool. Let's leverage and buy more. By 2023, Saylor stepped down as CEO to focus full-time on Bitcoin. Yes, that's right. He left the software business to become a Bitcoin maximalist in residence. Meanwhile, MicroStrategy became more of a Bitcoin holding company than a tech firm, holding over 150,000 BTC and counting. So what does Saylor represent? To some, a bold visionary taking on the fiat system. To others, a corporate gambler who YOLO'd his company's future into a digital magic beans. To Reddit, a meme overlord riding a rocket to the moon. Bitcoin, still volatile, still misunderstood, still trending. Michael Saylor, still buying the dip, still tweeting, still 100% unbothered. The end or just the beginning? Bitcoin may or may not go to 1 million. Saylor may or may not be vindicated. But one thing's for sure, You can't spell MicroStrategy without crypto strategy. Okay, you can, but don't ruin the moment. So to be fully transparent, I've owned Bitcoin. I've never really invested in Misty or MicroStrategy directly. I think I had Misty one time in my trading accounts. But this is where I'm at currently with Bitcoin and how I'm doing crypto in my accounts. I'm looking at a financial snapshot of BTCI, which I do own. The strategy holds BTCI, that is, holds 25% in spot Bitcoin ETFs like VanEck HODL, and writes covered calls on Bitcoin using futures, using a systematic rules-based model. They generate highly monthly distributions, 28 to 30% annualized, though 96 to 97% is classified as return of capital, which is great for your taxes. Performance since its inception, BTCI is up 38%. Total return versus Bitcoin is 48%. So if you bought the Bitcoin, you're just doing better over the same period. They capture roughly 50 to 80% of BTC's price moves while providing a cash flow. And the expense ratio is 0.98% plus illiquidity, wide bid-ask spreads. And they use a covered call strategy caps upside when the Bitcoin's going up, which I've seen a prediction lately of 140,000 Bitcoin. Is BTCI a good bet? For those seeking Bitcoin exposure plus monthly income, BTCI offers a compromise. Moderate upside, regular payouts, but no free rides. The pros: attractive yield, greater than 28%, and consistent monthly distributions. Partial BTC upside captured 50 to 80% without needing to manage volatility alone. The cons: distribution is mostly return of capital, not true earnings. Higher costs, lower liquidity, cap gains, and call strategy risk. You're paying them to do what you should be doing. But, if you're not good at the options, it is what it is. So the final take: buying the underlying in any of these is always going to be better. Bitcoin's going to give you higher returns if you're on the pure play. MSTR, you have to trust that they're going to be buying at the right time and that Bitcoin is moving up and to the right, which currently it's been doing that for a long time. BTCI, on the other hand, is income first, structured exposure, less volatile, but capped upside. So you're not going to get as big a returns as you would just buying MSTR or if you just bought Bitcoin by itself. Your choice depends on your tolerance for risk, need for income, and belief in Bitcoin's future moves. So one of the highest paying funds out there is Misty, which is the prime weapon of Warlord Khmer. But is that the Bitcoin play you want to go with? Let me know in the comments below. Check out these videos. And as always, Vini Vidi Vici.